Obito vs Hashirama Senju, two characters that want polar opposite things. Hashirama wants world peace, and Obito wants absolute domination for his dead crush. Today we'll be talking about who would come up on top if the two had fought. Could Hashirama beat Madara's copycat, or can Obito beat Madara's rival? The two versions I will be using of these two characters are Obito with his white mask, or his war version you could say, before he becomes the Tensei's Jinchuriki. The version of Hashirama that will be fighting him is his Edo Tensei version, that was used in the war. So without any more talking, let's get into it. Starting with the obvious question, could Hashirama even bypass Kamui? Now talking about Kamui and how Hashirama would deal with it, since that is basically, Obito's main win con on everybody, which makes sense since the ability itself is pretty broken. Now Kamui does have a cooldown after 5 minutes, but for that 5 minutes, Obito is very much invulnerable and cannot be hit by normal means. Now, how would Hashirama go about countering this? The brutal and harsh truth is that he can't. Hashirama has no counter that can get around Obito's Kamui ability, and although he would not have knowledge on the 5 minute countdown, I do think Hashirama, with his experience and battle intelligence, can catch on to the time when the ability is inactive. This could be through methods of just attacking over time and realizing after that certain amount of time passes he cannot phase or be intangible. So let's say he does end up finding out how Kamui works and operates. This would most likely make Hashirama change his strategy of fighting to go all out and wait for his Kamui to run out. But of course I have to take into account that Obito is pretty tricky with Kamui and can mix it up like phasing through an attack and becoming tangible to attack again. So although Hashirama could figure out how to deal with Kamui by holding out for the cooldown, that does bring the question up about Obito's other crazy hacks like abilities too. While unlike Kamui, Hashirama actually has counters and ways to deal with his other most notorious eye, the Rinnegan. Hashirama was shown against Madara and makes his Rinnegan useless, or at least the chakra absorbing ninjutsu he has useless by his wood dragon jutsu that absorbs chakra. But besides that Rinnegan ability, Obito also has wood style and Hashirama subs and a few other Rinnegan abilities from pain. Obito also has healing just like Hashirama without weaving a hand sign. In terms of overall abilities and hacks, Obito has Hashirama blown out the water. But if somehow Hashirama could time the Kamui cooldown, there is a chance he could use one of his strongest jutsu, which is the Thousand Hand Buddha. I do think if Hashirama could land this attack specifically, it would aim the battle majorly into his favor, or could even get him closer to a win, or even give him the win. That is a big if though, that he could even land it, or he could even find a bigger, stance to gain all the nature chakra he needs to use the technique. But let's move on to stat comparisons between the two. Now both of them have somewhat relative scaling to Edo Madara, as Hashira was able to avoid an attack from Madara and go relative with him. So the two are somewhat comparable, which is pretty obvious since before their deaths they were pretty close. Obito, on the other hand, has multiple instances of him being relative with Madara, being able to match his kunai with Madara's Yasaka bead speed. Another is him matching his fire style jutsu with Madara at and the last instance would be the two having the same travel speed, or in other words, equal travel speed. I do think Obito and Hashirama are pretty relative in speed and stats, both having KCM2 Naruto scaling, since Hashirama has more chakra than KCM2 Naruto, and Obito has relative scaling to that version as well. But it is noted, I'm pretty sure the version of the KCM2 Naruto that Hashirama is talking about is the one that's sharing his chakra with everyone. I'm not sure if he's talking about his overall chakra pool or just his current chakra pool. If we're talking about his current chakra pool, that would mean Naruto's chakra altogether would massively upscale that version of Hashirama that's saying that their chakras would be equal. But just even going further from that, I do think Obito wins this. Obito has a lot more annoying and vexing hacks to deal with. And though they would be relative in stats, I just think Obito's hacks give him the way bigger edge and would allow him to win. I do think it is closer than a lot more people make it seem, since it's not like Hashirama is going to get annihilated. But that's enough for my topic and the discussion for it. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, like and sub for more. I'm trying to grow and get this channel going before 2025. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.